Ooh.
And we're not muted.
Look at that.
Well, all right. We are live.
How about that?
Of course, that music, it was bad music, but
I didn't even hear it.
It didn't. I know it didn't even mute our mics like it's supposed to.
Okay.
So yeah, it was just our commentary of the new open.
Oh.
Yeah.
Next week we'll have the good music on it. So there.
Yay.
Hey, we're learning. What do you want to do?
We are learning.
So welcome to the Roundtable, everyone. We're here live on a rainy, cold Columbus afternoon.
Yeah.
Kat had to be a big girl today and go to a meeting, so she is not with us today. But we got stuff to talk about.
We do have some stuff to talk about.
We do.
So what's up with you guys first, and then we'll get into the news of the day.
Well, what had happened was yesterday, Charlie and I worked out, and that workout about killed us.
Yes.
It about killed me. And today's workout, actually, it was much better than yesterday, I think, after reflecting back. Would you agree to that, Charlie?
I would agree with that.
Okay.
Yesterday was
terrible.
Disgusting.
Terrible. So after an appetizer of 50 clean and jerks, okay.
EMOM.
Yeah, it was an EMOM, 5 every minute for 10 minutes. So, in 10 minutes, you're doing 50 clean and jerks. Then our workout was 15 minutes of work of overhead walking lunge with 1 dumbbell for 50 feet, 15 toes at a bar, overhead walking lunge with the left side, then 15 burpee over dumbbells, and then 15 alternating dumbbell snatches. In theory, I looked at that and thought, oh, I like those. Those movements are nice and complementary. It will be good. I almost quit CrossFit yesterday. I was like 5 minutes in and I was like, I don't even want to do this anymore. I don't want, why?
It was the longest 5 minutes of my CrossFit life, I think.
Yes. Yeah, it was rough.
So,
Ooh.
yeah, yesterday I stayed home. I did Cindy in my basement.
Okay.
And that is not good for me. That is definitely not my strength. But felt good. Felt good.
Cindy. You cut out there, Charlie, so we couldn't tell what you said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I did that yesterday. Today's my rest day. Hopefully it's supposed to warm up, be back at the gym tomorrow.
Yep. And on the cold plunging update, by the way, I've been doing it every single day. I think Charlie's still stuck on day 1. Sorry, he's done day 3.
I did day 3.
Yeah. So it's kind of my plunge is solidified around the circumference of it. And so the last 3 days I've had to take my hammer and take the chunks out of it so I could fit into it. And yesterday was the worst because I must not have gotten enough far down. So I kind of got in there and then I was like, oh my God, I think I'm stuck. I think I'm going to be stuck in here. I'm not going to be able to shimmy out because I won't be able to feel anything.
Have you felt any benefits?
Yes.
Like what?
My energy levels, I have so much more energy.
Because that's what you needed.
Because I need more energy. I lack energy. No, my recovery, my soreness after workouts has been very minimal.
Very. You do it in the morning?
About sleep?
It depends on when I do it. I would love to do it before I work out, but I cannot do it on days that I get up at 4 a.m. to go to the gym because I'm not going to go outside by myself in the dark and cold plunge when there's nobody around that could save my life if I got stuck in the air. So
4 a.m. your husband's there.
But I can't call for him. He's not going to hear me?
Put a rock by your thing and throw it up at the window.
Ice chunk. I'll just
snowball.
Ice chunk. Yeah. Little boombox over your head.
Yeah.
Did you hear sleep? How's your sleep?
Oh, my sleep. You know, better on days that I don't have to get up early. That's just the caveat, is I just don't sleep well when I have to wake up early to coach.
Just too excited to see Charlie.
Yep, I am.
And
I
when you
can't
don't
wait
drink
to get
wine.
there. And when I don't drink wine. Yep.
Or beer, apparently.
Or beer.
It was funny. I was listening to Athena and Hiller, their
Okay.
first like check-in last night. It's really long. I did not get through it all. But he has her no drinking while she's trying to achieve this goal, which is a year. And that he said it in a way like, no drinking. If you do, then I will not work with you.
Okay.
It is very, very blunt.
Yeah.
I have some things in my mind that I want to say, but I want to give it a week or two before.
Yeah. Just
like
let
I
it
jump
simmer.
on it. You know, like they're in the beginning phases, so let them get together a couple more times before I speak about it. But there's some interesting things with it. I thought this would be an interesting experiment, so I'm anxious to see where it goes.
Yeah. Agreed.
I listened at 1.5 speed and still couldn't get through like a lot of it, but
Why is it that long?
So it's recapping why they're doing this, kind of all the rules that he set forth for her at the beginning. And then they're doing like their check-in with different things. And so much has changed for Athena that there's just a lot to talk through. He has like 5 rules for her that are absolutes.
Yeah.
And they go through that and all that before they even get to like what she ate, how she's feeling. But she's already lost 12.5 pounds.
Right.
In a week?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah.
That seems aggressive.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So we'll see. It was interesting. One of the big topics I had on the docket was judging. We always rip the judging at different events, and I am one of the biggest culprits for it. Wadapalooza, I thought there were some things, and I said it in a way that I think the event put the judges in a bad position.
Okay.
Judging strict pull-ups is really hard. You know, but I watched the NFL this weekend.
Yeah.
And their officiating was awful.
Yes.
And those guys get paid.
Pretty good too.
Right.
Yeah.
So I had this like epiphany, like we're right in line with all professional sports because our judges are just as bad as their judges and they're free. So I just wanted to kind of get your guys' thoughts. Charlie, I know you watch a lot of sports. Like everything I watch is bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, some of it's really bad though. Like I feel like with judging, there's a gray line that maybe we're talking about strict pull-ups. Okay, is your chin over or not? Is it kind of like,
Are your arms? Are you in a full hang?
Extended. Yeah. Full hang extended.
right? Or did you tell me you have a mobility issue? Some pass interference stuff is like, okay, you just mugged that dude and just didn't even call it.
Right.
And I mean, isn't there a hold on every single play and they just don't, that's not called every play.
Yes, they could call hold on every play.
Right.
So it's at their discretion when they call it.
But the benefits of an NFL, I was about to say judge, is that that they can review.
Yeah, they get instant replay even.
Right.
They get instant replay in hockey. They get instant replay in baseball. Like,
Yeah.
there is no luxury for that at a CrossFit event.
But here's what it's also created is people complaining too much about stuff that they don't need to complain about. Like, example, your guy who was over the line when you called him. Again, they remember his name when you were judging, Scott.
Oh, I know.
His foot was over the line and he's arguing.
Oh, yeah.
You line. Your foot's over the line. It's not complain.
I know who it is, but I'm not going to say.
Well, I mean, just in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I had a guy, his whole body was over the line. And I called no rep and he appealed and complained and did all those things. But yeah, it's like that in the NFL and soccer and everybody complains after every play. Oh, where's the flag? Where's the flag?
Oh, I caught that. You clearly didn't catch that.
So I just got some perspective this weekend, and I thought, I sometimes rip the judges in CrossFit and the event organizers for putting them in bad positions, but it's in every sport.
Oh, for sure.
And you have good judges and good referees and bad judges and bad referees.
Well, and I'll tell you who I used to be scared to go to sporting events with my husband because he is very vocal and commentary and helpful to the judges. But I'll tell you who I think might take the cake over Scott Radowski. Is it might be Mrs. Lisa Odie.
Oh. Your own children are like, you can't talk during this entire game.
So that's a sight for us to be watching.
No.
Well, I've seen her yell at Charlie during open events.
Yep.
At competitions.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can only imagine at a ref.
Oh, it's in basketball too. Oh, it's bad.
Yep.
Yeah. The other thing, my other thought is, and it's a parallel I've seen in CrossFit, a lot of these refs, the good ones, are taking the TV money and leaving the field. Right?
Yeah.
And in CrossFit, the good judges are getting promoted to leads and head judges and working with events. And so
it's kind of taking them off of the
floor doing the day-to-day stuff.
Yeah.
And they deserve it.
Sure.
They did a good job. They should be promoted up, but I think it's leaving a hole in the back.
Well, and I have to say, I mean, I can't imagine. I think that judging is a high stress job. And it's never where someone's going to be so excited about having you there. And so like, oh, great. Thanks so much. Like now I will say I have seen the Panchik brothers at every single event that they've attended to go up prior to the event and shake the hands and meet and thank their judges.
The Panchiks are religious about that, and there are a lot of athletes.
There are. I'm just specifically mentioning them because I've consistently seen that.
Yeah. So that's my judging piece. I want to talk about Colten.
Mm-hmm.
I shot you a text, Amy.
You did.
That on Instagram, and I have it pulled up.
Let's see it. We got some local collaboration.
We do. So Colten announced on Instagram that this was yesterday, that this is day one with him at Proven. That he has been Kilo 2 trained his whole career, and he is now moving to Proven. And his coach is Joey Tortora, who is a Columbus native. I don't think he lives here now. Mm-hmm. He was in Philly for a minute with OBX. And I don't know if he's moved to Nashville. for Proven, but super excited for this. And I really think Joey is going to be great with Colten.
Did Joey used to be a brute athlete? A
Joey?
brute coach?
I don't know, Charlie. I know him as the owner of CrossFit Grandview. When he was that for a minute here in Columbus, and then
he was
reconnected with Kelsey and him.
Regional athlete.
I'm sorry, Amy.
He was a regional athlete.
He's made the games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Team?
And once individual, I think.
Okay.
But he, I think his personality is perfect for Colten. And he's one of the most fun guys that I've got to hang out with at competitions. So super stoked for this. And basically, he owned the biggest CrossFit gym here in Columbus for a very long time.
Yeah.
But his wife was a doctor.
One of the first CrossFit gyms.
Yes. It was Bill Henniger's gym that he sold off, and Joey took over. And his wife is a doctor, so he goes where she goes.
Mm-hmm. You can do CrossFit anywhere.
Yeah.
Turns out.
So
yeah, that's exciting.
I think that's really cool. And I didn't know Joey moved to Proven until this announcement.
Yeah.
Because he was on Team OBX last year with Kelsey.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then next on my list, someone won an award this week.
Yep, they did. Charlie.
What?
Someone won an award this week.
He's the people's champ. He's the people's champ in our gym for the month of January.
I mean, I've always held the title of people's champ, but
yeah, but this one was just finally, and he was annoyed about it, but I think he's very worthy of it because he's been very consistent with his training, and he has worked through his recovery from his surgery, and he works a lot smarter now.
I feel like Susan Lucci. I feel like it was years in the making, and now it's just kind of one of those. You know what? I guess we'll give it to you now. Nope.
I feel that you have matured so much as an athlete, and not just chronologically. I just mean emotionally,
not mentally.
Not mentally.
There's still things that make them
laugh. A lot hot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But it was renamed this month and this month only instead of champion athlete to the people's champ. He said that in his caveat that's what he wanted. And did you notice I did follow through?
I did.
I put that in there. Yeah.
I will remain that until the end of time.
You'll be the only people's champ.
That's right.
It's going to go back to champion athlete.
My favorite part was you were asked in the feature what your least favorite movement was, and you were basically like all of them. If it's not a push-up, I pretty much hate it.
I don't like it.
Push-up or bench press, I'm not in.
Don't want to do it. Basically, anything that involves CrossFit, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, here we are. We're talking about it, and we're doing CrossFit.
Well, I want to give you personal congratulations. That's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
I know that's a pretty cool honor there at Shred, and I still get the email, so it was cool to see your picture pop up as soon as I opened email.
The second take. The first take, I was asleep.
Oh, yeah. I did take a photo, and I was like, okay, we got to redo this photo because you definitely look like you just rolled out of bed. And he had, but got him a little more alert.
So Pat Midge Training is asking a question. Would like to hear you discuss the new call for paid online judging for the game season. Seems like a great development in professionalization of the sport. I have seen that. I think we have actually been touting it as a way to filter the online submissions of workouts. This group of people to go through them and sort them as good, valid, or major penalty, minor penalty, whatever, so that CrossFit doesn't have to sort through all of them themselves.
Yeah.
And they did put a call out for people to sign up for this. I did not click on it to see what the qualifications were. If anybody knows, would love to hear what that is. But I think it's a step in the right direction for sure.
Did we talk on here about this year's judges course?
You said you took it and you really liked the update.
Yeah. Okay. I couldn't remember if that was you guys. I told that too. So any of you listeners, if you have not done this year's judges course, I was pretty happy with this year's judges course.
Andrew Sten, our resident judge, says Pat Midge training and Clydesdale meeting. CrossFit is really vetting online judges, and yes, they are paying.
I might be interested.
Qualifications are an L1, and they look at your judging experience. So I think that's pretty awesome. So the next thing I have is I just got done watching the Rich Froning podcast before we came on the air. And a lot of times when I see something and I say so, I feel like I'm really shitting on whatever it is. And I hate doing that because I know there's a lot of hard work behind things. But man, Angelo DeChico took shitting on Wodapalooza to a whole new level, to a point where he made this statement. I'm going to play it real quick, and hopefully Mayhem won't ding us for sharing this. So this is Rory basically saying Wodapalooza seems like childbirth with that women are like, I'm never doing that again. Then a couple months later, like, hey, I'm ready for another kid. And a lot of Wodapalooza athletes say, I'm never coming back. And then they end up back there the next year.
Yeah, just how like I'm never going to do the individual and team competition again, and then they do it.
Right. So here is Angelo's response.
Is it just that like you do keep going back? So like, do you think next year somebody's gonna be I'll be on this and it's two buddies and it sounds like a really good time? Like you think you're gonna do it again?
If I forget how horrible it is, I want, and I even mentioned that I want everyone to hit me in the nuts. I want you to hit me square in the nuts when I say, yeah, I think I'll do Wodapalooza. You know, I'll get.
I'm in.
Yeah, I think I'll do. Or just shoot me in the nuts with a broadhead. How about that?
Oh God.
Shoot me in the nuts.
We're dead.
Shoot me in the nuts with a broadhead.
So apparently, Angelo does not want to go back to Wodapalooza next year.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
I mean, we don't really know what he's into, so I assume.
He actually takes a long time going through event by event why this year was so bad at Wodapalooza. And it's a great listen if you want to hear. And it's not, the weather can't be controlled.
Right.
But how you react to it can be. And that's kind of what he's saying. And Rich throughout the podcast is saying it's the best atmosphere. It's the coolest event. If we could just get the programming down and if you pick to go in one direction because of the weather, stick with that direction. There are times he says that the gap between when they did handstand wall walks, it was like 72 inches. He banged his head like 3 times on the beam. And I heard Hopper say the same thing.
Yeah.
I heard and it was wet because it was raining. So your hands are slipping.
Yeah, sure.
You couldn't do a controlled descent. He said Christoph Horvath had to go to the side because he's 6'4" to even be able to do a wall walk.
I can imagine Charlie having that same problem.
Listen, at what point do we just do the work and not complain about stupid stuff? like I thought CrossFit was like we could adjust and adapt to anything. So now we gotta be like, well, if this isn't this way and this isn't this way, then I'm gonna complain about. Okay,
Charlie, I'm gonna agree with you.
just go. So it didn't hurt. Some people seemed to be just fine.
Whoop.
Everybody fall and hit their head? No.
Andrew Sten said it did appear the bar heights seemed low, which is strange since they worked with the PFAA. I think that's what's the crazy thing for me. This was supposed to be a partnership with the PFAA and Wadapalooza, and now you're getting more complaints about safety concerns than when PFA wasn't there.
Interesting.
So who knows?
Everybody's different heights. You can't do everything perfect for everybody.
The reason I really found the Angelo thing funny is I've heard that from a lot of athletes that I talk to when I'm there. When I was at Wadapalooza in the past, I would see them and they're like, I'm not coming back next year. This is a shit show. I'm not coming back. And every year they come back.
Right. Nobody begged you to come back.
So
we'll put somebody else in 14th place. It's fine.
Oh boy!
Wow, Charlie's turned to the grumpy old man.
The people's champ is fired up.
Yeah, give him an award, man, and he's getting all puffy.
It's like, stop your complaining, just get to work.
We work.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the sun was in my eyes because we went at 4:00. Oh, which changes to 2:00.
I think sun in my eyes and banging my head off of the rig post are two different things.
Show more athleticism. There's that too.
Wow. New event director for Wadapalooza, Charlie Odie.
I just throw him right out. Oh, is that right? Get out. You're done. You've been withdrawn.
Well, on that note, I do want to end with a positive today. And that is, if you have not seen the interview with Denise Moore that I did on Sunday, got to check it out. It totally surprised me, caught me off guard. We had a long conversation. None of it was in my notes. Denise was a breast cancer survivor who went on to make the games afterwards. But she also had reconstructive surgery through it and got sick from the implants.
I hear a lot about that.
She had kidneys that started to fail her, got super sick, had them removed, talked about how they insert them by cutting the pec muscle and how that has affected her to this day, where she like push-ups are harder for her. And it's one of the best interviews I think we've ever done, just because of her and the subject matter, what she's overcome. She won Legends this year, 65 plus, after all of this. But it's such a cool story.
Wow.
And Holly says, such a good interview. She's amazing. But it was really great. So I highly recommend that. It's out there live on YouTube now. She's such a fighter, and you should really check it out. And I think she's going to do well. This is her first year in the 65 plus. So this is her go time. The only thing is that she is the exact same age as Susan Clark, who has won the games like 4 bazillion times. So she has to fight with her, but she's going to give it a go. And with that, that's all I got, guys. Got anything else before we head out?
Yeah, I'm going to leave you guys with this question that I asked in my class, because we did thrusters today, and it was rough. And so I said, here's a would you rather. Would you rather And we can't ask a bunch of caveat questions like, well, it depends on this. Just would you rather this or that? Would you rather do thrusters or devil's press?
Thrusters.
Yeah, I think I said thrusters too, but I see the thrusters to me are also the devil, and so that's why I could. It was hard. I forget what you said today, Charlie. Thrusters.
Yes, because I don't want to do a burpee.
Yeah, but the thing with the burpee is you can lay on the ground. I mean, the movement doesn't have to keep going until you get up off the ground. With a thruster, like you're in motion, you got to keep going. Mine are typically too zombie, but I was keeping it clean for the show.
All right, guys. Well, it's been a fun half hour. I know, Amy, you've got a meeting.
I do.
We will check you all next week. Check the time. We may have to adjust a little bit for Kat's new schedule, but we will see you all next week on the Clydesdale Media Roundtable with a working opening next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.